And welcome back to The Big Story at 7:51. For years, Boblo Island was a huge tourist attraction for Detroit that later also became a historical symbol of Detroit. Historical not just for the island itself, but for the boat rides that were taken to the island. Oh, I remember those boat rides. Boblo Island Amusement Park was shut down in September of 1993, and the boats no longer had a destination to go to. Well, one of these Boblo boats, the St. Clair, will soon have a new destination thanks to Ron Kattoo. And here with more about the St. Clair is The Big Story's Rob Vlasic.
A piece of Detroit history is making a comeback. For years, Boblo has been a symbol of Detroit. One thing that made Boblo so historical for Detroit were the Boblo boats that took you to Boblo Island. One of these boats was the St. Clair. In 1910, the St. Clair boat was built and took passengers to Boblo Island and did so for 81 years. Now in 2009, the St. Clair is being restored. Ron Kattoo is the owner of the St. Clair, and he has put a lot of hard work and dedication in the restoring process of the St. Clair. I had the opportunity to talk to Ron and ask him why did he decide to buy the St. Clair Boblo boat.
Growing up as a child in this region, there was a state fair, there was Christmas in the wintertime, but Boblo was the funnest thing I ever did every summer. And it was the one that I would look forward to. My family would go out, our cousins, friends and family. If we even didn't go out with anybody that we knew, you'd end up seeing somebody on that boat that you knew. You'd make new friends. The boat ride was amazing growing up as a child. And I remember looking over the side. I'd walk over to some railing, I look over the side and watch the water, and I would think to myself, it would be great if I could own one of these as I grew up. It was a dream. Mm-hmm. It was always just a dream as a kid growing up. And fate would have it that I came across both boats 5 years ago, and they were both sitting abandoned and in hopeless shape. So the opportunity was there, and I decided to take it.
St. Clair's main purpose was to transport passengers to the Boblo Island Amusement Park, but with the park now closed, Ron talks about his plans for the St. Clair.
To have her operational back on the Detroit River again, cruising up and down. We'd like to get a destination at some point. I'm working on that. I don't think I want to commit myself just to one destination, maybe have several, and we can alternate throughout our operational season. She'll be available for rental. And when we do our dockside events, I also want to incorporate some type of historical museum as well, so children can come on here, not only have a good time and play games and run around and have fun, but also get a learning experience out of it as well.
Boblo and the St. Clair had a significant impact in Detroit since its debut in 1910. Now it's almost 100 years since the St. Clair was built, and Ron thinks that the St. Clair can still have a great impact for Detroit.
With the current economy and the way things have been going for the past couple of years, we're tired of turning on the news or listening to the media and hearing just horrible things about the city, whether it's corruption, loss of jobs, just decaying buildings. This is a feel-good story. There's nothing bad about this boat. I mean, it needs work. That's understandable, but it's a happy story. It brings back good memories. It's going to create new memories. And on top of that, bring her down to the waterfront for everything we have planned for her, running 7 days a week. She's going to bring jobs to the city. I mean, we're looking at potentially 500 new jobs right on the waterfront. So with everything that's going on right now, this is a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for the kids. It gives a family something to do on a Tuesday. A guy's off, he has nothing to do. Where's he going to take his kids? Boblo's a sure thing. You're going to have fun at Boblo. Look, take a picture of the waterfront right now. It's not complete. It won't be complete ever again until the Boblo boat's sitting back on that waterfront.
That was Ron Kattoo, owner of the St. Clair. For more information on the St. Clair Boblo boat, go to www.bobloboat.com. For The Big Story, I'm Rob Vlasic.
Talking about what matters to you. Catch it live on News Talk 760 WJR AM and stay up to date online at WJR.com.